right now we're just going into the explanation of the practice and why it's so difficult to retrain the mind. We're live now. um, yeah, I find even so. I mean, I would consider in my case like the fastest, and that was 20 something years of practice
You're lucky.
for an intelligent young man that knew that he was angry, that knew, nonetheless, any other humans jumping into the practice. Venerable Bufung was not available. I didn't ask anyone. I mean, this is part of giving up, was that I truly believe I didn't even know there were Theravadins. I didn't even know what that was. But I just had this faith, the importance of faith, that I knew that monks left people alone. They didn't mess with anyone. They just walk out at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, 7 o'clock. And they hit this gong 3 times. They chant. The meaning's in the book, but I really wasn't really reading the book, And then they got the Venerable Bufu. All he did was taught us how to chant, and then he said, in breath But, out breath Toll, for like 30 minutes. I did that for 16 years. So what it means is now in modern day, I have to figure out how to keep you guys engaged. I mean, the practice is indeed boring, but it's a very active practice.
Yeah, I would.
You have to remain mindful to what is happening. And I think, where you went to the monastery, I mean, the only way that it was short, 30 minutes, and the bell brings you back. When they hit the bell, it kind of, no matter what you're thinking about, it brings you back. Yeah, you're right. We are bombarded every day, especially, so you're still working, and people at work absolutely drives people crazy.
Yeah.
No matter where you work, they absolutely drive you crazy. Any industry, that's what I get from Americans.
Exactly. Let me give you this anecdote. I try to teach people, into martial arts. I'm retired, but sometimes I'm a referee or involved somehow. And I try to teach the inner aspect, the spiritual part of martial arts. And then, when I'm done, then the students come, hey, we're very proud of you teaching us because you were in special operations. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh Lord, just listen, help me out a little. I want to get rid of all of that. And then one of the reasons...
You are who you are.
Yeah, one of the reasons they come to my classes is because I in the service and this and that, the violent part of it.
Yeah.
And I say, well, listen, okay, thank you. I don't say anything else, but in my head, I say, oh my Lord, that's what I'm trying to reduce to a minimum.
I myself, I think all boys wanted to be in SEALs. Matter of fact, one way back in the day when I used to stay active was to play airsoft.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Simulations.
Yeah.
Right. Military simulations, and all of us always wanted to be SEALs. But then my dad always bring me back to the real truth of reality of military life. Is that my dad was an intelligence officer, South Army lieutenant, and he says, Grandma told me, which is his mother, my paternal grandmother. My dad hits home really fast. He brings people to enlightenment really fast with just like one sentence. And he says, son, I was out in the battlefield, and and Grandma taught me that every human out here has a family. They have a son, a brother, they have a mom, they have a father, So I couldn't shoot them. I shot in the air. And he did. He shot in the air. And then, like, his entire life was filled with good luck, with just health, prosperity, longevity, no suffering, no physical suffering, no mental suffering. I mean, it's like closest thing to a modern day Buddha you can imagine. But I was aggressive and I was angry, and I had your mentality. I had this mentality out there. And he always reminded me that. Remember that people just want happiness.
Yeah, that haunts you forever.
Yeah. And so we have to remind ourselves that loving compassion, even though in modern day now, it's so hard to have that compassion. But we have to see our suffering first. As we see our suffering, the first noble truth, deeply, and own our story one last time. The other problem is during this stage, whether a person see their story and accept it. Part of self-love is accepting my story. The flaws, the hurt, the infliction that family did to us or society did to us, whatever it is that happened onto us.
Yeah.
That's why the explanation of karma is so comforting, because sometimes we don't have all the answers as to why this happened to me.
Yeah.
But when a monk tells you, because we're the only one that is qualified to tell you, because we've seen it for ourselves.
Correct.
You know, I've seen karma for myself. I investigate karma more than anybody else, perhaps in the entire world. You know, maybe there's researchers out there I don't know about, but my job is to, you know, really look deep into it. I can't teach something I cannot see. I don't sit here and just, oh yeah, I read it out of the book. Oh yeah, the website I gave you, yeah, I read it out of the website and then told you. No, I've seen it for myself. You know, so it's comforting to accept and no longer needing to investigate why it happened, because it just happens the way that it happens. This is because that is, and that is because this is. If this didn't come to be, then that couldn't come to be. And this came to be because of what was done here. But that's dependent arising and dependent arising, and the practice of dependent origination, the links of influence. Okay. So, yeah, it's a lot to do. So this is a very active thing. It's a very active thing with me. I mean, you're very blessed with the ability to think, understand, and listen. Maybe, you know, this is that part of your life where listening more would do you a lot of good. Listening and practicing. And trust when some things don't make sense, that it's good for you.
Yeah. So.
I went to Sri Lanka, and when they prostrated to the Buddha, I was ready to get back up, and I'm just wondering why they were prostrating for a very long time. They wanted everyone to stop with them, and I really appreciated that. In the moment, it didn't make sense to me, but I wasn't gonna object. I wasn't gonna say anything right there and then.
Right.
I just took that back and sat with it and realized the way how they pour the teas, everything. A lot of things. In Buddhism, especially the Theravadan order, well, actually the Theravadan order perhaps makes more sense than most orders.
Yeah.
You know, we have a why behind what we do, you know, but there are times where this teacher may not have the time to explain everything to you.
I hear you.
And based upon faith, you just have to do what needs to be done. If I tell you to listen to meditation music, then just listen to it. For how long?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure.
Yes, sir.
You know, because the science of it is that, because it worked for me, and I'm thinking it's going to work for everybody else.
Yeah, that's the kind of, you know, when I mentioned it, I was so lucky to have like very traditional martial artist teachers. They were all had a career. They were not just punching and kicking people there, and that's the kind of reliability that I had in my master. He would tell me, do this exercise. I was not going to question that every 5 minutes, right?
Oh,
would do.
Let me go back to the martial arts thing. So I took Taekwondo growing up.
Oh, did you?
And the one thing I learned in the totality of martial arts is that once you possess those skills, you never want to fight.
Correct.
Because because you realize just one mistake and they're dead. You're
exactly.
You're like, you know, like and then they're dead, and you're like, oh my God, I just killed a human and not even real, because you know what I mean. You realize the danger of the exactness of your skills.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Or worse.
Or worse.
Injury.
And so martial arts is designed for self-discipline of anything.
Totally.
Right, and the only time technically, monks are allowed to kick butts if we have to.
Yes.
Only for like self-defense. I mean, we're trained to like, look, if they beat you, let them beat you, because that's your karma. You know, only when we realize that, all right, well, this beating can really probably kill me right now, that we can probably like hit him in the leg and like, you know, make him hurt for a while, and then we run away. Okay, so technically we can. But martial arts, you know, in its most beautiful form, like the Shaolin order. I mean, had you been a little younger, I would have tell you to go to Shaolin Buddhism, because I mean that's what all they do. I mean, they're so hell. You can fly by now.
Yeah.
You can levitate by now.
Yeah. They have a spiritual vows. They don't have the.
Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you possess a lot of skills that is useful in conjoining with Buddhism. Martial arts doesn't take away what we're practicing here, it's self-discipline. That will always come back in this practice for you to progress. Okay? And then the other thing is the emphasis on time. And when you have faith and confidence in taking directions from a teacher, you don't have a lot of time left. You don't have a lot of time left. I don't have a lot of time left.
Correct.
And so you have to progress quite fairly quickly. Change your whole life around the practice. I know you working, tired, home, cooking, eating, sleeping. I'm not sure what your leisure activity is.
I read and write.
Okay.
I like to study, and I also teach every once in a while, like the biomechanics of martial arts and other activities. I work with the New York Giants, the football team in New York.
Yeah.
As a kinesiologist, where there's a team of them, and we don't make a lot of money. The players make a lot of money.
Yeah. Right.
That's
always
a regular job. Yeah.
Right.
So I kind of do that, study. I like painting. Play music. I used to go to a drum circle.
Right.
Because it's very therapeutic, and you help people with the autism and all of that. So that's basically. I mean, I have a myriad of activities, but basically music and reading, writing, or magazines.
Yeah. So yeah, you might want to just relook at things and spend time more to yourself. The Theravadan way is always spending time with self-examination and trying to clear, especially anger. I think in your case, anger will always be present. Anger, guilt, and when you look at that, you have to utilize the loving kindness meditation. And when in doubt, you trace back where this anger originates from. And then you also have to realize, why am I hanging on to things when it doesn't serve me anymore? And you also have to come to the intelligence of, well, I know why my brain is hanging on to this. My brain is hanging on to this because to ensure my survival. Memories of the past, anger. It's designed for you to, re-spark that anger when you need it so that you can fight. I mean, an opponent hits you in a certain way, you're going to remember how he hit you.
Right.
Or his methods and his techniques.
Correct.
You're not going to forget that.
Yeah. And turn that into logistics.
Logistics, right. But in Buddhism, yeah, we go on. Now we intentionally, because we can, we intentionally forget a lot of things.
Yes, sir.
Like amnesia, necessary dementia, willfully inflicting dementia onto us so that we can start new and have a clean slate. Because here's the problem in Theravadan, when you do die. At the moment of death and you're angry, you will take unfavorable rebirth. And part of your reading will be the 6 rebirth realms. And it's not pretty. It's not pretty. Unfavorable rebirth. Because if you study animals and you see their behavior, they really want enlightenment. They want to get out of their animal realm, but they can't. And they try so hard pleading for help.
Correct.
Why do you think dogs behave the way that they do? Or certain animals behave that they do? Because they can't speak. They can't say it. But by their actions, we can tell that they're suffering also. So at the moment of death, you got to let go of 3 things to become a fully enlightened being. Anger, greed, and ignorance of the Four Noble Truths. So you have to study the Four Noble Truths comprehensively and effectively. If at anything, you got to check mark one of the 3, what you're going to focus on for you. And if you're writing and reading, well, time to start reading and writing the Four Noble Truths, and only that until the teacher tells you, yeah, I think you've known enough to transcend yourself, right? You don't really need to know a lot. That's why the Buddha compressed 84,000 into 4 elements. It's not that difficult. It's really not. I make it very easy to understand and easy to teach. I mean, had it been very difficult, I wouldn't be here. I mean, who wants to hear more complicated things?
Right.
You work in logistics and bio this and bio. As soon as I hear bio, I'm like, oh my God, that's like a master's degree. You know, anytime you hear bio or you hear the word mechanics, it's like, oh my, can I have a Tylenol before you talk about this? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Right. But Buddhism is not that. You know, in the days of the Buddha, one sentence,
Right.
the Buddha said, be mindful of your thoughts, and you became a saint. You will never take rebirth again. One sentence. Nowadays, monks are spending years on end with people, you know, because the lawyer in their head. That's one most insightful thing you'll hear all day, is how to dismiss the lawyer in my head and what I think I know. And what I think I know, and I'm going to use what I know to argue with people.
Right.
So.
That's true.
So yeah, so in conclusion today, I don't have a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Is that, and I want to be, you know, respectful of your time, is that renouncing, giving up, relooking at how you're going to do things. I'm scheduled to leave January. I really want to leave as fast as I can, because it's a mess here in the U.S. So us meeting together will be a rare thing from now until January. So try to look at that. We can meet at the monastery over there in 62nd, or nature sceneries. Sometimes monasteries a little bit too religious sceneries, unless you like it, you know. But the Theravadins have always been drawn to like trees, nature. It's relaxing, is calming.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's calming. So my approach has always been to choose the right environment and elements and let people just freely speak, ask questions, let go, let some time pass by, relax, you know, let the brain just process, and then repeat. We study, we apply, we repeat. Everything that you've done your whole life. And now it's a very different kind of skill set. This is a mental skill set. This is a mental weaponry. Our techniques in Vipassana and Samadhi are absolute sharp weapons to defeat anger. Clinical weapons to defeat anger. One last time and once and for all. You know, one last time. That's why you see like Vajrayana or Mahayana statues. I don't even know some of those statues. But, you know, there is a Buddha with like so many arms and he's holding so many weapons.
Correct.
That is to depict the sword of wisdom.
The liberation.
Right. To absolutely penetrate fire in one's heart. You know, it's so, the image is so aggressive to remind us of the violence in the mind. But all the techniques started with us. It all started from the Theravadan order. And by and through the skillful teacher who has learned how to slice anger and slice greed, you know, and point the right way for wisdom. I hope you embark on that journey one last time. Because, I mean, you're very brutally honest with me with so many traditions. I hear it all. What I call Buddha shopping.
Exactly.
You know?
That's how it feels.
And I feel really bad because, I mean, Buddhism should be a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
But there are not many qualifying monks. Some monks never meditated.
Correct.
You know, you got monks that understand the suttas but never meditated. You got those who meditated but aren't really well versed in all of the teachings or majority of the teachings because they emphasize on practice. So study and practice. Which one's got what? You know?
Correct.
So being a monk, I have to like kind of put those two together and have a balance.
Yeah, it's very hard. And then sometimes you receive this advice of, you need to follow specific instructions from a monk to do this or that, for example.
Oh yeah.
You never talk to them. And
right,
you never get
right.
to see them. Then yourself.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, how do I do?
right. It's frustrating. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
All
right, so John, as to when we meet, it's up to you. Like I said, I understand that you're very busy. You have to travel. You have some other people. You have your own things. I don't mind meeting you at the temple or here, wherever's more convenient to our.
To our journey?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You know, just my main thing is that you commit to it you put in forth the effort, whether it's me or another teacher. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just want to see less people take rebirth. I just want to see more happy people in the world. The end goal has always been that, that's the greatest joy that can bring to a monk, that they take it back home and they study and they practice everything that needs to be practiced and studied, and then they come back and they tell us about it truly, and they see themselves change for the better.
Yes, sir.
Right. So as you go home, I like for you to write down on paper for me, if you can, because it's very therapeutic, it's very effective, what you're going to let go.
Okay.
It's very powerful to put a pen on a paper and says, what?
It is.
After today's talk, this is the things that I want to let go, and I'm going to let it go. And every day I'm going to remind myself I'm letting it go. I don't want to look at it again.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Before we go, I'm not going to take a picture.
Yeah, sure. I'm a public teacher. Take selfie picture, it doesn't matter.
Especially because I'm trying to get my son to be more spiritual.
So we haven't even touched on that too, but you have a picture of him? I just want to see what he looked like.
I don't.
Okay, all right. So yeah, go ahead. The other thing is, we inspire other people by and through our own change.
Correct.
So as you change and he sees that loving kindness coming out of you and your attempts to repair what has been broken, or, school don't teach us how to be parents either. Yeah. We try to be the best parent as we can. The fact that you still think of him is amazing, because there's parents out here that don't do a lot of things. There's horrific stories with parenting out here. But yeah, I hope that you master this. You are a master. Now you just need one more thing to master, which is this one last thing that needs to be mastered.
Yes, sir. Yes.
If you want to be a SEAL, and they give you an AR-15 or whatever they're using now, and they give you an EO-Tech, and you need to master the darn EO-Tech and the holographic sights or whatever. You need to master it. But then, this one last thing in your life that you need to master is this. Lack of spirituality, lack of a choice in Buddhism leads to profound sadness and loneliness. Profound. Right. I mean, death seems like a greater choice than anything when one lacks spirituality. So, that's, but I know that after you have changed, the way you talk to your son will be different. The way how you talk to a lot of people will be different.
I agree.
It'll be short, concise, to the point. It will have a lot of deep meaning to it. And your son will be inspired, and hopefully he will be inspired to practice the same.
Yes, sir.
And also learn to forgive. He too needs to forgive you. He too needs to let go of what was said and done, and Germans, man, they're really smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, German psychologists.
Yeah, all of them are engineers.
Right.
A little square though, but
and with intelligent children, they're able to achieve enlightenment quite fairly fast.
Yeah.
But you have to teach them how to also let go of the lawyer in their head.
Yes, sir. That's true.
Every human's got a lawyer. You know what I mean? Yep. Right. So yeah, I think you have a lot to think about after what I've got to say. And we should reconvene. What is tomorrow? It's Sunday. Give it a day to think about it. Some writing, some reflections. And if you want to meet Sunday, I'm more than happy to meet with you Sunday.
Sure.
And begin from there. The text message, I will send you over the chant of metta. These are going to be baby steps.
Okay.
Right? You have a speaker at home. In the shower, you listen to it. You go to bed, you listen to it. You're reprogramming your mind.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And then tell me what the effects of this music did for you. That's going to be the most joyful thing, is like, okay, well, John's telling me to do this. Okay? I'm just wondering what it's going to do to my mind. Yeah. So I want you to see it for yourself and then report back to me on Sunday, because I'm trying to move fast in your practice. And so even if it don't work for you, you have the tools to revisit it. And whatever we do together, write it down so that you can track your progress.
I sure will.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right? Because if it don't make sense now, later it might. And be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He told me to listen to chant of metta, okay, and I'm just wondering, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
And
No,
then Bhikkhu Bodhi has done a great job at explaining loving kindness meditation, but he explained it from an academic standpoint.
Correct.
So if you haven't listened to him before, I'll send the link over to you.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then again, just let him walk with you, walk you through it, and walk with you again. He's very calm and slow in his explanation. He's not fast like me. Sometimes I'm too fast. You know.
You're good. Okay.
So I also use resources from other teachers who are, a little bit slower in speech. And then you can join the chant of metta, Bhikkhu Bodhi's guided meditations, because we're not always together. So you have the freedom to be alone with yourself and take that freedom seriously, but also discipline yourself in that freedom. Don't try to run around or, go to clubs or bars or call up friends. I don't know what people do in their leisure time, but I tell them, look, if I'm giving you freedom to do this by yourself, really discipline yourself, find a space, do the homework, write it down and bring it to me so I see that you're doing the homework. I mean, you're doing this for you, not doing this for me.
Exactly.
No, I'm just there to tell you, good, I think you're doing a great job, keep going. And if there's adjustments and I tell you I think you need to make adjustments, I'm never going to yell at you. I'm never not it's your path. And I don't teach the other ways. And I'm like, oh yeah, well don't talk to me for a week or don't. No. I'm not like I'm very chill.
Yeah.
Do what you want. I mean, the precepts say no drinking, right? So if you're like, oh well, can I drink? And I'm like, I'm not gonna tell you to stop.
Exactly.
The more I tell you not to do something, you're gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, well, I mean, this is what alcohol does to you. And the more you drink it to the point you don't know what planet you're on, well, I guess you're just gonna have to find your way home if you can. And you see the health benefits of that or not, the lack of it, know. No one's gonna tell you. Every student I meet, the first thing I look for is intelligence. If we ain't got that, I'm sorry, I'm not the one for you. And once they have intelligence, then I approach it from an intelligent explanation. This is the precept, this is why you should keep it. And if you don't keep it, well, see how well that works out for you.
Correct.
I'll see you back in a month when it don't work out for you. So they're like boomerangs. Students are like boomerangs, and I don't have to push hard on anything because they'll always find their way back. Let me see if this is an emergency or not. Oh, it's one of my agency. Yes, Pete. How are you? I'm doing good. Let me go there real quick. Yeah, let me go there real quick. Because some of these calls are last minute stuff. Yeah, beautiful. I'm off that day.
Perfect. Okay, so just give me a bit of prepping the paperwork, and once I receive it, I'll go ahead and send it.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Thank you. You too. Bye bye. So intelligence does wonders. You got to know how to direct your intelligence. That's the one thing the teachers is going to be skillful at, is trying to, if you're off track, he's going to like, hey, why don't you come back a little bit over this way? Go from there.
Right. I think I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm too scientific with a lot of things. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use drugs.
Analytical?
Yeah, and everything have to kind of go in the, kind of fit in here.
Yeah.
Like very square.
Yeah.
In that regard, and that's another thing I need to let go.
But it's good because, I mean, when you get into the Abhidhamma, it's very analytical. Oh my God, but Abhidhamma is like, look, so one thing that attracts people to Theravadan order is they're very analytical. Because Theravadan explanation is precise, exact, scientific, empirical.
Correct.
We don't really do a lot of praying. We don't really do a lot of some of these rituals and rites because it's a waste of time. Doing that too often can be, without explanation, can be a waste of time. There's no clinical benefits to it. So when you look at in an exact detail of the Buddha's words, it's very analytical.
Yeah.
But I want people to think. I want people to focus on the simplicity of the explanation rather than like when you're going through it. You know, and Bhikkhu Bodhi wrote, he's translated more than like 55,000 pages of the Buddha's teachings. His books are very analytical. I mean, like, sometimes you're like, what? You know, but when he is teaching it, explaining it, it's like elementary.
Correct.
10th grade. So you have to know how to tone it down to 10th grade level understanding because of simplicity. And with simplicity, it brings happiness and joy. I mean, who wants to like analyze everything? That is such an absolute hell in the head to analyze everything. I mean, this pier was recently built. If you had to analyze structure of this pier, yeah. Well, we're paying you for the headache of analyzing so it doesn't fall. You know, when there's a fire truck driving on this very thin thing, it doesn't fall. Okay, so that's saving lives. But here is simplicity is everything. My robes is simple, my words are simple, and so should you. You know, so uncomplicate your life and uncomplicate your mind.
Yes, sir.
So you'll be reminded of that. Don't worry. That's why I have a job, right? Because if people know how to do this, I wouldn't have a job. So my job is to, you know, to readjust and say, hey, it's simple. It is what it is. It can't be what it ain't.
Yeah. Ajahn, I really appreciate your time. And you know, you instructed me at least a little. Like I said, I don't pretend you to, you know, like take me by the hand and do things. I know that there's a lot of work on my end to do. When I was in Thailand, we used to wake up at 3, and then Yansha would hit us with a stick. Sometimes he was very strict, and if you don't go for the alms, you don't eat, etc., etc. So I think they have at least the discipline, and I'm very interested. And I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I really do.
It's gonna be fun. I'm not like that. They try to do it the military way, truly. Because, I mean, Thailand's different culture. It was. I mean, my dad did that to me. Growing up, I didn't get out of bed on time, and he literally dragged me into the bathtub and put cold water on me. And I was like, oh my God, that was so mean. I can't believe, that's why I grew up so angry, because I didn't understand the why. And I was just like, I can't believe you did that to me. I'm just a kid.
Yeah. I remember that a mom told him, Ajahn, have you seen the size of those wasps that we have around?
The what? The what?
The wasps. Like
the wasp? Oh, yeah, that's big. Yeah.
It would hit us all with the...
Yeah. And then the other thing about simplicity too is I may ask you to explain back what you've learned to me, so that I make sure that you're not too analytical. Okay. You know?
Yes.
I think you would like this other student that I'm talking to. She's also very analytical. And so she chooses out of the book the most analytical thing in there, and I'm like, it's okay, you don't have to know that right now. And I break it down to where she could understand it, but then I'm like, look, here's why you shouldn't like jhana's meditation, right? You know, jhana is also another practice that's somewhat difficult. And I'm like, listen, why do you want to know about jhana when you haven't even mastered the simplicity of the breath? You haven't done the practice of the breath. Tell me, I need a student to tell me how long they sat with the breath.
Correct.
And what they're analyzing in the breath as they're meditating. So yeah, sometimes the analyzing is necessary, because anapanasati is about analyzing the breath. That's all we want you to do, is analyze the breath. But if you haven't done that, why would you ask jhana? Because that's like you wanting to know PhD dissertation, but you haven't even gone through freshman year of college.
Correct.
Right. So she understands that, and she's like, okay, all right, well, I get it now. I'm like, yeah, baby steps with me. And then when we get there, we'll get there together, when appropriate. So I actually find it a challenging and a joy to deal with analytical students. It makes me become a more skillful teacher. Because if you were easy, then like, what's the challenge? Well, you know what I mean? Like, if you were easy, what would be the challenge for me? You know what I mean? I like challenges too.
What am I learning here?
By learning, right? Like, oh, this is too easy, you know. So, yeah, I don't ever think that you're bothersome to me. I want you to bother me. I want you to send me text messages when you don't understand. I want you to call me when you're sad.
Oh, okay.
Okay? I want you to, right?
Yeah.
And I get back with you as fast as I can. I try to get back like 90%.
Thank you.
That's a really high rate. Nowadays, no one answers the phone anymore.
No, they use it as an answering machine.
the Gen Zs and Alpha, or I mean, I just see how the environment affects people. That's how you know they're so self-centered and narcissistic, because they don't even answer the phone and they don't answer the text anymore. They're so just, I don't know what's going on. That's why I don't want to be here when all this is happening. I want to be in a place and hopefully, you know, save up money and travel with me. You know?
Yes, sir.
When that time's right. But take it easy for now. Take care of yourself.
Yes, sir.
Eat well, sleep well, exercise, be happy.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay?
Again, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
I'm going to go back to work.